Today we will be discussing the brand new patch which was just announced. I will be telling you my thoughts about it, what to expect, and what to look forward to in the upcoming patch 1.0.14. Welcome back everyone to a brand new Call of Dragons video. Yes, I know, that is my real voice. A quick update on how I'll proceed with videos and what types to expect, where you'll hear my real voice in and what others you will not. Now, for the Commander series, we will be using the text to speech because I feel it's like a bit more formal, a bit more, how do I put this? It pretty much gets the point across easily, and there's not really much for me to discuss with my own voice. Now, without further ado, my name is MEOWER. Meow meow. And in today's video, we will be discussing the brand new patch, which was just announced earlier this morning, patch 1.0.14. Now, this patch has some good things and some bad things. I will be going over each and every thing, what I personally think about it, and how it might impact your game, whether if you are a free-to-play player or a pay-to-win player. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. In the patch 1.0.14, as we can see here, it's narrated by Kella. So let's start. Ain't you heard? Rumor has it that major darknings and the appearance of the dragons are connected. So it seems like they are slowly building up towards the storyline, which connects eventually the dragons with the darklings. But anyway, this is all purely fun stuff. So let's get to what the patch says. So on the first section, we have a smoother route to prosperity, which usually means some generalized changes, nothing too massive, nothing too small, just some basic stuff. There will be improving the new trail tutorial, which is a much very needed aspect because the tutorial is pretty much your gateway to the game. So if the tutorial is not good enough, you might not understand the game, and if the tutorial is too much, it might get boring for the average player and they just uninstall the game immediately. So we'll have to wait and see what they change. But overall, yeah, the tutorial might need some adjustments. The second thing, they have simplified certain main quests and improved the order and difficulty of main quests. So the main quests are these ones. You know, the one that pops up for you to guide you on where you should progress your account based on city hall level and such. Now, it's not always the most accurate thing, but it does make things sort of a compass for you to move along with, right? It's not a bad, it's a good thing that they're improving the order of it and decreasing and sort of adjusting the difficulty because some of the quests are really hard for the average player to take and they might take a long time. They're reducing the difficulty of daily challenges and especially for lower level players. So probably these ones, you know, the ones that you log in daily. I'm not sure if they're going to touch on the weekly yet or not, because some players find it hard to maybe get 500,000 power per week and the likes. But they are adjusting these. I'm not sure what they're going to adjust, as they're all like very straightforward, and you can do it with extreme ease if you play like an hour or two in the game. Pretty much, it's not really that hard. So we'll have to see what they're adjusting. But I hope that if they're going to adjust it for lower players, they do not make it as hard for more advanced players. Moving along, they're going to adjust the policies. Now, the policy change is a really strange thing because I have not heard many people complain about policies or anything, but they are sort of switching it up, making it less impactful for whales who trek ahead in the Dragon Trail and gain a lot of policies than the average player because now the only impactful things from the policies will be the military expansion pretty much, the commander XP, and potentially the times two dust drop chance from dark creatures, though it is not always that reliable, right? So they'll be switching all the damage dealt. So let's cross off into the policies. They'll be switching up probably these military drains and ranged rails, and all of these to resource gathering and resource production speed for some reason. But well, I'm not sure why, but I will have to wait till when the patch drops to formulate a proper opinion on it. But from where I stand, I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either. We'll have to wait and see how much the percentages are for the gathering and the production. But of course, this is gonna lower the power creep overall for every single player. Now, improving the artifact ascension screen, pretty much making it easier to star up your artifacts, which is pretty straightforward, and adjusting the unlock conditions for certain buildings, such as the Augur Stone. Probably the unlock conditions for certain buildings, like building them out of the gate, or the level up one. Moving along, the second section, which is an even richer combat experience, which usually touches upon commander balance, artifact balance, and general balance on the map, right? So the first section, they will be slightly expanding the skill range of Phoenix Eye, Tear of Arbon, and Breath of Gigantus. Now, these artifacts are considered to be really strong, especially the Phoenix Eye and the Breath of Gigantus. So them improving the skill range even more tips the favor towards a better mage meta, and just makes these artifacts even better to have. So if you don't have them, try to get them, and if you got them, try to get them to 6 stars or 4 stars if you're still in season one. Now, the second section, in the interest of balance, they're gonna be adjusting Husk, Madeline, and Indus. It seems like they're just increasing the Legion capacity, which is pretty weird because Husk and Madeline are already considered two very top tier commanders, so now this tips them way over the edge. So instead of having 10,000 troop capacity at max level, they're going to have 15,000, a 50% increase, which is huge. I don't know why they're doing this, but I'm not complaining. I have them. I have Husk already awakened, and my Madeline is one skill away from being awakened. So the more the merrier, I guess. And this as well is going to be improved. Also getting a 50% increase at her max skill. Again, I'm not sure why they're doing this, but I'm not mad. You know, it's a bit 50-50. We'll have to wait and see how impactful it is for the meta. But for now, it seems like infantry are still going to be meat shields for mages, and it's still going to be an open field mage meta, right? For PvP at least. They're reducing the difficulty of certain behemoth raids. I'm probably assuming the Necro Giant, the Magma Demon, and potentially the Dragon, because these three are usually considered the hardest, with the Magma Demon considered the hardest in the entire game, harder than even the Dragon, because the Dragon is pretty much a DPS check, while the Magma Demon needs not only strategy, it needs tanks, it needs DPS, and it needs very strong coordination for your allies. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do actually end up nerfing it, because the way it is right now, it is way too difficult for the average player. Yes, you can take it. Yes, others have taken it, but the amount of effort you have to put to take it is sometimes be really frustrating. Again, I'm not sure what actual behemoth they're gonna change, but it is a welcome change nonetheless. I'm not sure if this change is gonna also impact SS1, because SS1 right now has even the more difficult behemoth than usual, because sort of like a season 1.5 plus. It's not the actual season 2, but we'll have to wait and see when the patch drops for the actual numbers. And 4, they're adding first victory rewards for dark beings and dark creatures. Great change. Nothing there. And the first time you defeat any certain levels, you get extra rewards. Again, any additional rewards are always more welcome. So no comments there. For number 5, we have an improved combat experience for research wounds. Gathering units can now be attacked inside of alliance territories, which is a curious change because I do remember them removing that ability before when it was way too overwhelming for players. But now cavalry are now viable again because before you could not utilize cavalry to their full potential to raid properly. And the same goes for flying units. They can also be used to raid. So now cavalry and flying units are viable for raiding mostly, but for actual open scale PvP, flying units work out. Cavalry, not so much, unless you're overwhelmingly ahead than your enemy, and even then, if you walk up into a mage bowl or an archer bowl in a all-out alliance war, you'll be one shot before you can even come close to touching anyone. Okay, so it's a strange change. I'm not sure why, because they already nerfed it before, so why revert it now? But they're probably just trying to collect data for global release. For number 6, they're improving Legion capacity bonuses from leveling up heroes and active policies. I'm not really sure what that means, but they're probably increasing the amount of troops overall. Curious, but again, I think they're just trying to expand march sizes in general. I'm not really sure why, because you can't really mix and match troops in a single march. So if you do not have the proper amount of troops to fill up your marches, you'll be out of commission pretty quickly. So again, this is good for older players, but bad for newer players. So why they're doing this, I'm not sure. Again, they're probably collecting data for global release. We'll have to wait and see as well. Number 7, improving artifact skill casting. No comments there, but always better when it's easier to cast artifact skills. Now, for section 3, the most controversial change the developers have done to date, or one of the more controversial change, and one of the least liked changes that, in my opinion, the developers have done to this game, removing the union features between alliances. Now, why they're doing this, I have no idea. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible change, and I hope they backtrack on it. Because here's how unions work, right? So these are unions. They're considered your allies. You can use their passes. You cannot attack them by mistake. So say for example, I am BDL and I have a union with Alliance God, right? So if they occupy this pass and both of us are in a union, we can both transverse between Burning Lands and Zoo Lands freely. Removing the union, removing the alliance now means it's every alliance for themselves. I'm not sure why the developers have taken this route. It's such a bad move, in my opinion, because one, having the union allows alliances to have a chance together. It opens up new strategies, it opens up methods for players and friends to play together. It removes the ability during wars, it removes friendly fire. It allows for if maybe one big alliance is being a bully in the server, it allows 4 alliances to group up together and be able to make a push. Now that removing that makes it so if one alliance is holding a pass, you can't really start pushing into them. If they're holding a pass well, you can after you take the pass from them, if you do multiple rallies and you do eventually somehow get the pass from them, it will be impossible to push into the zone. So say for example, I'm BDL, I'm holding this pass, right? And the enemies were maybe NT45. What alliance is this? NT08 and MJ45, right? So let's just say, for example, all 3 of those are in a union. They managed to take our pass, so now all 3 of them are able to cross into the zone. And all 3 of them are hypothetically weaker than BDL are right now. I'm not necessarily calling them weak, I'm just using them as an example to prove a point. Now, if removing this union feature makes it so they can potentially friendly fire. So having a union with someone, you cannot attack, you cannot scout, you cannot accidentally do anything that can harm them, no matter what, in open field, or even attack their cities, their territories, everything. Removing that removes so much strategic depth, so much of one of the key features that was selling for the game, being able to form a union with others. Overall, horrible idea. Hope they backtrack on it, but we'll have to wait and see. And well, even ROK added a union feature, so we can't just say, well, ROK didn't have it. Well, this game is not ROK. right? This is a brand new game, a brand new IP. Yes, it has elements from ROK because they're the same developers and the same publishers. Build games, Farlight, Vigil, all of them mix and match. They're all the same. But this union feature change is awful, and I have nothing more to say on it other than it's awful. And Lilith Games, Farlight, Legoo, please do not go through with this. That's all I have to say on this topic. The second part is adding the Blessings of Chess part of Alliance Gift. I mean, it's good for later on, but in the end, after season end, the Alliance just resets, so it's good while it lasts, I suppose. But after the Alliance reset for the next season, you'll have to regrind it, so just some milestones to work towards, I suppose. I'm pretty neutral about it. I wouldn't say it's a good nor a bad thing, because more rewards are always more welcome, but we'll have to wait and see how many key points we needed to each for each level up. And yeah, all in all, that is point one, which is removing the new feature, is the worst possible decision they can do for the health of the game. In section four, they're improving some events, adding new event. The Trial of Light, any new event is always welcome because it's more methods to get free rewards. The Trial of Light pretty much just let you defeat as many Darkling Legions as you can within the time limit and end up getting rewards. So it's pretty straightforward. No comment there. The Crucible of Courage, like sort of like the Korak event of ROKE, they're adding the need to spend CP for it, but in exchange they're improving their rewards and getting XP. So overall, it might be a net positive, it might be a net loss. We'll have to wait and see what the numbers are. For Section 5, a more accessible map, the mist surrounding Century Bay has been lifted in Kaltia. I don't know when that takes effect. I don't know from minute one, the moment you load into a map or not, but Century Bay is, what is it? Uh, where is it? This is Kaltia. Foreigners Abbey? No. It might be a new place in the map. Maybe I'm not seeing it right now. But it will be in this region right here. Okay. What else is there? The human capital is now yours to explore. It could be a new spot. It could be a different, an all new together region, most probably. I'm not really sure. But we'll see when the update comes out. For part two, Augustone chapter, the library ends, and Mr. Longer the spell of Tamaris. So instead of only Aetherian and the ocean, Aetherian is zone 3. They're the spot of the dragon. Not sure why they're doing this. Again, the whole point of having the zone explored allows players to spectate should there be an old-scale war in all of Tamaris, but now it won't affect the people playing in the server, but it will affect visitors who want to try and come and scout. 3. Adjust the exploration process. When moving into the same realm, your exploration process will be retained. I don't know what that means, to be honest. I think it might have something to do with resurgence, I guess. I don't know. The wording is weird. I don't really understand it. Maybe if someone can explain to me in the comments below, that would be most welcome. Number 6, the Beautiful Tamaris. They're just visual changes. The most notable one is the Armies of Wilderberg, which is the Orc faction. They're going to be changing the Orcish Spearmen design to look a little bit different because they do share some similarities on the open field with infantry, so it might confuse players. But nothing else really to discuss there. Story content, use this. But the part 4 might add some new rewards with gems. So what that means is if you go all the way here to explore, and here probably has stuff to do with these. They give my gems now. So any way to get more gems is more than welcome. I will never say no to free gems. Oh, while I'm here, might as well just look for Sentry Bay. Oh, this is Sentry Bay. So they're gonna probably improve this. Yeah, this is sense really. Hmm. And yeah, um, finally the other improvements, adding new Russians, adding new languages, Russian, Thai, Vietnamese, Arabic, and simplified, and traditional Chinese. Improving battle reports, nice. Uh, Pretty much giving more advanced details, which is always more welcome to try to figure out which is good, what's not good, and such, and showing better merit dissection to see how much merit you gain from dead troops and wounding troops. This one is really nice. The adjusting dark chests. If you don't know, dark chests are these. They spawn across the map. They give you a chance of getting artifacts and an epic artisanship emblem. They have chance to get two legendary artifacts. Both of them are really well. One of them is extremely good, which is Rusia's Horn, which is the only which when you max it is the only current way to access a level 7 note, and some other meh artifacts which will probably end up being used for you to level up your artifacts. They're adding a point system to it, which guarantees you a legendary artifact every time you reach 100 luck points, which is really good. Always nice to have a safety net of sorts. They added the unit tab. I don't know where they're adding it. They're adding a hero button as well. I don't know. Again, I don't know where they're adding it. It just increases the branding area. So they're just adjusting some stuff where you can decorate your city better, I suppose. And finally, improving chat group management. You can now quit and delete chat groups faster. Always nice. Overall, okay update. It would have been I would have get rated much higher if they did not include the removing the idiots part. But overall, very exciting. Very nice update. Might bring some fresh air for some things. Nothing too pay to win heavy. Some very nice changes for the free to play players because better ways to get rewards and items and gems. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how impactful it ends up being when it comes out. Let's see some of the numbers of the new stuff they're adding. And again, Lilith, if you do see this video, please change your mind regarding the union changes. And yeah, that's pretty much it for an in-depth video for the patch notes. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. This has been MEOWER. Meow meow.